All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into entrepreneurship, but maybe not in the way that you might expect.
Okay.
We're not looking at spreadsheets and business plans today.
Right.
Our source material is a coloring book.
It definitely caught my eye, too, when I first heard about it. It's
Yeah.
Coloring Book for Entrepreneurs by Christine Michaelis. And it's not your typical business advice, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I think that's what kind of intrigued us.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't be intrigued by a coloring book that's supposed to help you unlock entrepreneurial potential?
Yeah.
But before we kind of get too far with this, what do you think about this whole adult coloring book trend? Because it's a thing.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? I think it speaks to our need for mindfulness and stress relief, especially in this day and age. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's so busy and everything's so fast-paced.
Yeah.
And I think for entrepreneurs, that need is even greater
Mhm.
because they're constantly, facing challenges and uncertainties and having to kind of, pivot and deal with all these different things that are coming at them all the time.
Right, and like failure is a big part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lots of stress.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
But this book goes a step further.
it does.
It's not just like, mindless doodling to de-stress.
Yeah.
It actually pairs those visuals with affirmations. And it's like a mantra for success.
Yeah, and that's where I think the real magic happens.
Okay.
Because these affirmations, they're not just, feel-good phrases like, I am worthy of infinite success. They actually have some science behind them.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, it all comes down to neuroplasticity,
Yeah.
which is basically the brain's ability to, rewire itself.
Right.
And so by repeating these positive statements over and over again, especially when you're engaged in an activity like coloring, where you're kind of it's a meditative state, you're actually sort of retraining your thought patterns.
Okay.
So you're replacing those limiting beliefs with more empowering ones.
So it's like planting seeds of positivity
Exactly.
in your mind, right? And the coloring is almost like helping those seeds to grow.
Exactly, like watering them and helping them take root.
I like it.
Yeah, and as you kind of go through the book, you start to see all these themes that come up again and again
Okay.
that I think are very relevant to entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And I think one of the biggest ones is this idea of believing in yourself. Like you constantly see this throughout the book. I believe in myself to succeed.
Yeah.
I am capable, all these sorts of things.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you think about pairing those affirmations with the actual act of coloring,
Yeah.
it does make it like a meditative experience.
Yeah.
And then that repetition, I would imagine, like you said, is key. It's
Mhm.
got to be like the more you encounter those affirmations, the more they're going to like seep into your subconscious.
Absolutely. And it's not just about believing in yourself.
Okay.
The book also really focuses on this idea of shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. Mm-hmm.
And you see this in affirmations like endless prosperity flows to and through me,
Yeah.
which, let's face it, that's a big one for entrepreneurs.
That is a big one.
Yeah, because they're often told, it's a dog-eat-dog world. There's only so much to go around.
Right. You have to fight for your piece of life.
Exactly. And this book is saying, no, no, no.
There's plenty to go around.
There's plenty for everyone.
Right.
And so it's encouraging you to kind of shift that internal dialogue
Yeah.
away from scarcity and towards abundance.
Because it's really easy to fall into that trap, especially when you're first starting out
Oh, absolutely.
and you're hustling and,
Yeah, you're comparing yourself to everyone else. And,
Yeah.
and it's easy to think, oh, there's not enough room for me or
Yeah.
I'm not good enough or whatever it is. But this book's like, no, think bigger.
Right.
There's more than enough to go around.
It's like, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like that.
But this book isn't all like, positive vibes and manifesting millions.
Right.
It does acknowledge that entrepreneurship is hard work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to meet the universe halfway.
Right.
One of the affirmations I really liked was, I am motivated, persistent, and successful.
Yeah.
And it's just this really good reminder that, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires that constant effort.
Yeah, it's about having the grit
Yeah.
to stick with it,
Absolutely. And
Sometimes that grit means facing your fears head on.
oh, you just reminded me of another one that I really liked. I courageously walk through every door of opportunity.
Yeah.
Just picturing that visually is so powerful.
And I think that's what I like about this book is it does such a good job of pairing those powerful words
Yeah.
with really engaging visuals.
Yeah.
The illustrations are hand-drawn
Yeah.
and they're not they're not overly simplistic or anything.
They're actually quite detailed
Yeah, they're
and intricate. and they make you want to like pick up a crayon and just get in there.
Totally, it's true.
Yeah.
It's not just like passively reading words on a page.
Right.
It's like you are really engaging with them on a whole other level through
Absolutely.
the color and the creativity. And it's almost like you're embodying those affirmations in the act of like coloring them.
Exactly. And I think that that multi-sensory experience, you know, the visual combined with the tactile,
Right.
it just really enhances the impact
Yeah.
of the affirmations you're creating, this deeper connection with it.
You know, it's funny. We always think about business as being so serious,
Right?
but this is like encouraging this sense of playfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's really important.
And why not?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, playfulness is where creativity comes from.
Right.
And I think, you know, for entrepreneurs, that's like their superpower.
Absolutely.
Right.
We're-
Like when we can tap into that childlike sense of wonder and experimentation,
Yep.
you know, that's when we come up with the best ideas, is
Yeah.
when we're not afraid to try new things and we're not afraid to fail. And,
Yeah.
you know, and so,
That just reminded me of all the white space in the book.
oh, yeah.
Because it's not even just about coloring in the lines.
Right.
Like you have all this space to like doodle or jot down ideas as they come. Or
Exactly. It's like the book is saying, okay, here's a starting point.
Mhm.
Now go out and like make it your own.
Yeah,
You know, don't be afraid to like scribble in the margins or whatever you need to do,
I like it.
you know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the themes. We've talked about the visuals, the importance of action.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any specific affirmations that stood out to you?
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe ones that you were like, ooh, that's a good one? Or one that you found particularly impactful or surprising?
Yeah. Well, one that comes to mind is success comes naturally to me,
Okay.
which is a pretty bold statement, especially for someone who maybe struggles with self-doubt. But I think that's the power of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like shifting that internal dialogue from I have to fight for every inch
Right.
to like success is my birthright,
Oh, I like that.
you know?
Yeah. It's like you're giving yourself permission
Exactly.
to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like removing the roadblocks
Yeah.
that you're putting up for yourself.
Totally. And I think that shift in perspective can
Yeah.
be so liberating.
Right.
Because it allows you to kind of approach your goals with a lot more ease and confidence.
Yeah. It's like rewiring your internal GPS to like navigate you straight towards success.
Exactly.
Another one that I really liked from the book was I am tuned into passion, prosperity, and positivity.
Yeah.
It's like the recipe for entrepreneurial success.
Yeah, it really is. And I think it highlights how interconnected those three elements are.
Okay.
You know, passion is obviously what fuels your drive.
Right.
You know, that's the internal fire that keeps you going.
Right.
Prosperity reflects that abundance mindset.
Okay.
You know, that belief in those limitless possibilities.
Okay.
And then positivity, well, you need that to kind of weather the storms,
Yeah.
you know, because inevitably you're going to face challenges.
Right.
And you need that positivity to kind of bounce back from those setbacks.
It's like a superpower trio.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, we've been talking about this in relation to entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling that these affirmations could apply to so many other areas of life.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I think these themes are universal.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're an artist who's looking for inspiration
Right.
or a student who's struggling with a difficult course.
Yeah. Or just anyone
Anyone, really.
who wants to like better themselves,
Exactly.
improve their lives.
I think these affirmations can be really powerful tools
Mm-hmm.
for just cultivating a more positive and empowered mindset in general.
Right. It's like they're transferable skills.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Mm,
But it's not enough to just color the affirmations.
right.
Like, what's the action step here?
You got to put them into practice.
Okay, so how do we make these affirmations a reality in our lives?
Well, I think it starts with taking that affirmation and saying, okay, if I truly believe this,
Yeah.
what's one small step I can take today
Okay.
to align my actions with this belief?
So, like, if one of the affirmations is about, you know, courageously walking through doors of opportunity,
Hmm.
what would that look like for the listener?
Yeah, so maybe that door represents, you know, pitching an idea to a potential investor.
Okay.
So the action step might be, okay, I'm going to refine my pitch deck,
Mhm.
or I'm going to practice my presentation.
Right.
You know, it's about taking that thought
Right.
and turning it into something tangible.
Yeah, and as you're taking those steps, maybe you are inspired to even come up with your own personalized affirmations.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, ones that like really speak to your own journey and your own goals.
Yeah. And the book actually encourages that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Remember that blank page at the end
Yeah.
where it says, you know, Get creative, create your own doodles and affirmations.
I love that.
Yeah, it's this reminder that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
You know, you can make it your own.
You're in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
Yeah, so true. It's about like taking ownership of your own journey and designing a path that really speaks to you.
Yeah, it's like the book is giving you all the tools, and it's saying, okay, now go out there and create your masterpiece.
It's so true. And it's funny because we started with a coloring book,
Right?
but we really uncovered so much more than that.
We did.
Like we talked about, the power of mindset, the importance of action,
Mm-hmm.
and, just how important creativity and self-belief are.
Yeah, it just goes to show that inspiration can be found in the most unexpected places.
Yeah, so true. Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, this was fun.
I really enjoyed this deep dive, and, I hope our listeners did too. So next time you're feeling a little stuck, maybe a little uninspired, remember the lessons from Coloring Book for Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Pick up some crayons, unleash your inner artist, and
Wow.
start coloring your path to success,
Yeah.
one affirmation at a time.
I love